How's it going, everyone? It's Ryan from Fine Classics Plugins here, and today I'm thrilled to announce the release of our plugin, the Fine Classics Saturator. I'm really excited about this one. It's been a long time in the making. This is a really cool, unique saturation plugin. We have a tone shaping knob, which is kind of like a tilt EQ type thing, 7 saturation algorithms, a built-in transient designer, and then a really cool filter, kind of lo-fi distortion thing. So this is a pretty versatile plugin. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it. I'm just going to try it on some samples and some stuff I have and a couple of mixes I've worked on. So let's dive right into it. So first up, I have this session open here from a band called The Downcast. They're a really cool pop punk band that I had a really fun time working with a couple months ago in the studio. And yeah, I'll just play the song for you real quick. All right, I'm pretty happy with this mix, but I'm still going to go through and kind of tweak it up a little bit and just play it with some of the settings, some of the presets on the saturator, and show you what it can do. First up, we have the snare trigger here. Let's just click through some of the snare presets. So as I was clicking through, this one really stood out to me, the sizzling and slammed snare preset. There we go. Just throwing that preset on, gain matching it a little bit, there's instantly a lot more energy and a lot more vibe to it without having to use a ton of compression. And you can instantly kind of hear when I flick it on there how much the whole mix just kind of moves forward. It's coming out in a nice way, but not a pokey way. And that's kind of the beauty of having the saturation and the transient designer side by side there, is you can use the saturation to dial in something that's kind of like taming the transient a little bit so it's not pokey, and then the transient designer can still make it punch through and stand out in the mix. Cool. All right, let's move over to this drum bus now. So I really like the drum sound on this song. I really like the sound of the whole drum bus, but I do feel like it can be just a little bit brighter. So I'm just gonna click this Brighten the Drum Bus preset. And there we go. Instantly brightens it up without being too crazy or too harsh. Next up, let's take a look at the vocal here. This is another thing that, I thought it sounded pretty good. I think it could use some more vibe. I think it could be a bit brighter. So we'll click through here.
Fine on my own, always thought that I'd be better off alone. I didn't know what I was missing until she came into the picture. I couldn't fight it, now she's living inside my head. I turn around and she's laying in my bed. I didn't know it. Fine on my own, always thought that I'd be better off alone. I didn't know what I was missing until she came into the picture. I couldn't fight it.
It's crazy how much better that vocal feels as soon as you put the adding character to the vocal preset on. The whole thing just kind of moves forward a little bit. It's a little warmer and vibier at the same time. It's kind of hard to explain, but it just feels better, more musical.
Fine on my own, always thought that I'd be better off alone. I didn't know what I was missing until she came into the picture. I couldn't fight it, now she's living inside my head. I turn around and she's laying in my bed. I didn't know what I was thinking.
All right, Cool. Now I'm going to take a look at the bass here. Been pretty happy with this bass tone every time I've listened to this song, but let's see what else we can do with it. I mean, that's pretty crazy right there. Instantly way fuller. I think we did like a bass DI for this, so that can make sense why, it doesn't have like some of the life it needs. But as soon as I click this on, it just like sounds like an 810. Pretty wild. All right, next I'm going to move over to a different session, and we're going to try out the same plugin on some stuff over there. All right, so the session I have in front of me is kind of a country song that I mixed for Evan Burrison. Really good song, really stoked on this mix, but you always listen back to old mixes you did, and you can find some places to improve. So I'm going to use the saturation plugin on the kick to start here, because I feel like it could have a bit more definition. So right away, this dark and punchy preset really stands out to me. Instantly way, way fuller.
And all of my friends and me believing that it was gonna be alright. I did the leaving, seeing how hard it is soon to say goodbye. It was your heart or mine.
Truly that simple. Now that kick has what it needs. All right, let's take a look over here at the vocal bus.
Soon to say goodbye. Thought I was stealing some of the best years of your life.
This was actually something I was playing around with a little bit just before we got the cameras rolling here. But listen to this vocal bypassed without the saturator.
Soon to say goodbye. Thought I was stealing some of the best years of your life. It was your heart or mine. And all of my friends and me believing.
Just brings it forward so much more. I really love how this tone knob makes it so much brighter, but it's not harsh.
Soon to say goodbye. Thought I was stealing some of the best years of your life. It was your heart.
Pretty drastic difference there. Now, obviously, this isn't something I would do on this vocal mix for the whole song, but I do want to point out this 50s radio preset also sounds really cool.
Soon to say goodbye. Thought I was stealing some of the best years of your life.
Could be cool for like vocal throws or background vocals.
Soon to say goodbye. Thought I was stealing some of the best years of...
This one's pretty wild, very aggressive use of the saturation algorithm, but it sounds awesome.
Soon to say goodbye. Thought I was stealing some of the best years of your life. It was your heart or mine. And all of my friends and me believing that it was gonna be alright. I did the leaving, seeing how hard it is being the bad guy. But I'm no...
Sounds awesome. Another cool thing I was playing around with here is something that a lot of people don't realize is that you can use a saturation plugin to affect a guitar DI. This is something I really like to do if I'm not really happy with how the DI sounds going into an amp sim. I have the Vintage Vibe amp sim up here. We use that for the electrics on this track, but I always thought that the guitars could be a bit more distorted. So rather than using some of the saturation on the amp to go for a more unique sound, I'm stacking the saturator on the DI before the amp sim. So here it is without.
I had a feeling.
And that's also using the transient shaper to just make that pick attack at the start hit a little harder.
It was your heart and mine, and all of my friends and me believing that it was gonna be alright. I did the leaving, seeing how hard it is being the bad guy. Goodbye.
So yeah, that's just a quick little look at a couple ways that you can use the saturator on different elements within your mix. I'm really happy that this thing is finally out in the world. It's been a long time coming, so go pick it up and let us know what you think.